Again, I know a lot of people have heard about it. ATS rejects it. No, they don't. It-
Okay.
The system doesn't reject it. A person rejects it. It just comes through a system. That's all.
So you've crafted a great resume, spent time filling the application on the company website and hit submit. Do you know what happens to your resume after that? What is the journey of that resume after you hit submit? Let's understand that. Hi guys, I'm Priya from It's Okay Yaar and welcome back to our channel. If you're new today, It's Okay Yaar is a content platform for South Asian immigrants and we aim to educate, entertain and empower them. In this episode of our series, the Immigrant Career Corner, we discuss with a recruiter, Shreya Mehta, on what ATS is, how much time does a recruiter spend on the resume, whether a resume should be one page, two page, and everything else that you must know if you are someone who's looking for jobs in the market right now.
Shreya, we are so happy to have you back. Today, just want to understand what is happening with the job market. When you last came, the layoffs had just started, and now we are like right in the middle of it. So, Shreya, hi. Do you want to tell a little bit about yourself?
I'm Shreya. I've been a talent acquisition partner with Uber for over a year. I've been in talent acquisition for over 5 years now. I am also a career coach, so like just helping you all with like resume, LinkedIn, and all of these things. And that's why I think the conversation is going to be great because I know both the sides of the table, kinda. I know what's happening within the company in the market in terms of like those applications, in terms of those recruiting processes. But then I also have an idea of like what's happening in the market and what might come. And again, I know that, things would change over a period of time, but at least we can talk, great things about what's going to happen, or at least what we think is going to happen.
What do you think one should do if they are looking for a job in the current market?
That networking, definitely your visibility is the most important thing right now. And you have to be visible at the right time, at the right place. And it's in front of the right people. I'm not just going to be on LinkedIn, and I know a lot of people that tell me that, oh, I've been commenting on everyone else's post, writing congratulations or writing, hey, I need a job. And I think that's not the kind of visibility I'm talking about, right? I'm talking in terms of like more activities on your own page, following more career pages or like finding more jobs out there. So more visibility in that terms. And I would really say do not just rely on the applications that you're actually sending out in a company, right? And make sure that your resume is up to the bar. A lot of people don't give enough credit to their resume. They just think we've done great jobs, people would see it. But your resume is the only thing they can actually see it. So, um, glorify it, write great things about it. Do not lie, but then write great things about yourself in your resume, everything that you've done, and with better jargons, with better terminologies that the recruiter would want to hear. And again, I know a lot of people have heard about it. ATS rejects it. No, they don't. It,
Okay.
the system doesn't reject it. A person rejects it. It just comes through a system. That's all.
Okay, interesting. And I want to unpack that a little bit when you say that ATS hasn't rejected, a person rejected. So help us understand. Example, like I went to a company's website, I uploaded my resume. Does it go to a person or does it first go to an ATS screening system and then it goes to a recruiter?
That's a big question. So it only go to an ATS screening system, which is like a tool that we keep for like resumes and like, how do I say, managing and organizing everything. It won't get rejected automatically. It probably would send you a conversation saying that this is incomplete, this is not correct, your resume is not populating. Can you please fill it out again? And I know that's a process. Like I have filled application, it's a process. But you got to do it for, so that your resume, your application is completed in the system. But once your application is fully completed in the system, it's a person who's actually checking on it. No ATS is actually going to reject it automatically with the person without a person looking at it. Second part of it will be once a person look at it and I feel that this is not a great resume, it's my choice if I want to send it to the system or I just want to change it to and say that, oh, it's okay to send it with my email ID in it, right? In this market, I try sending it in my email ID so they feel like they know someone from inside and they can ask, follow-up questions. But if you are getting it from the system, system generated email, it's still being generated by someone. The system is not automatically generating it, but we just send it and then they schedule it according to their own system. So we are still sending it like a recruiter.
So that is so interesting because, as we talk about this stuff, it's always recommended to make your resume ATS friendly. What does that mean? Because if a person is actually looking at it, then why do we like stress on the importance of having an ATS friendly resume?
Yes. That's a great follow-up question, Priya. So like in the beginning, like I said, like once you actually submit your application, it goes into a tool in the system. And in there, if your resume, if your formatting, if something is not right in terms of like DQs even, the application would ask you to fill it up again. So that's then the tool rejecting it in terms of like, this doesn't look right. Can you upload it, update it again? Because there's so many times when I see a lot of people have applied through the LinkedIn, right? And when I actually take their LinkedIn, there's nothing in it except the 3 experiences that they have, and they've not defined anything. There is no summary. So that's where the system is like, this is not even a complete application, and they might probably reject it, that it is not going to reject. But again, you're not getting rejected from the road. You're getting rejected because your application isn't complete, your resume hasn't populated. So the recruiter can't actually do anything about it.
But that is helpful because, when we talk about ATS, we want to make sure that at least the format is in a place where a system doesn't auto reject thinking it's an incomplete application. Because the first step is like, let's complete the application so that the system thinks it's a complete application, and then it will definitely go to a recruiter. Correct? Am I understanding that right?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. And that's why that's why I say to my, my clients, my candidates, everybody, that use keywords. And now that's where the system comes into process. So like, how do you control F and like, find words, right? That's what we do over LinkedIn. That's what we do in our own tool system, that we try finding people with those keywords. And we like, let's say for an example, I'm looking for a graphic designer, right? So I'm going to put graphic, I'm going to put designer, I'm going to put, a couple of tools that I think that they should have. And if you don't have those keywords, there are chances that you're going to get lost in that first filter that I'm trying to find, right? And that's the first bunch that I'm going to reach out to. I'm going to reach out to the other bunch as well, go find them individually, but you're going to miss out the opportunity in being that first bunch of people.
Okay, so that is super helpful because I'm sure in this current market, would you say that you're getting a lot more resumes? Have the number of applicants increased? So how do you have a different strategy in terms of how you're screening candidates? What are you looking at?
I do, because I know that a lot of people are like, oh, just get any job, kind of, right? So I see a lot more application. I see a lot more application, which is not actually related as much as to the job that we're talking about. So what I usually do is that there's like a 3-step process. I have to go in the LinkedIn, find out what people have done, how they're engaging, what are the activities, what are the projects, if they have GitHub, if they have portfolio, check on that. And then more than that, if they have applied for any of the roles within the company, I'll have to check that as well, Priya, because then that would give me an idea, is this person all over the place, or they have an idea of like what exactly do they want to do, right? So if I'm a talent acquisition partner, I'm also applying for, let's say, I'm okay with being a TC also, I'm okay with being an HR generalist also, just give me any kind of job. I don't think it's a market to get any kind of job, because in the back end, the recruiters would know that you're just trying to get an interview, which probably won't look good at that time.
So that's super helpful. Would you recommend someone do things differently on their resume now to get through ATS, to get through the recruiter, especially when you are getting so many more applications? Is there
if there are, I would say keywords. I would say try catering your resume to the role that you're applying for. So if you're applying for a specific role, make sure that you include the projects that are related to it. Make sure you include the skills that are related to it. So for an example, I'm a TA partner, right? So I would say communication, stakeholder management, data analysis would be my, my top. And then of course, candidate experience. If you have all of these, put it out there, but then don't just put like, I have these skills. Don't of course do that. Of course, try making it sure, great with stakeholder management, manage this many stakeholders at the same time, or, bought into this kind of data for business impact. So like put it out there in your resume, try catering it as per the role that you're applying for. It should not be a blanket approach. That's how I feel.
So I'm going to ask a question and
I saw that smile.
answering that. For example, a role is open and I reach out through a referral and someone uploads their resume through the website or the application. Do you look at both of those applications differently? Does it matter when you get an application through a referral? What are the differences there?
Unfortunately, yes and no both. So yes, if it has been referred by someone, then we look into it, because we then assume that someone knows someone personally. That means they have done something. But again, if the resume is not good, Priya, we're not going to reach out to that person. The only difference is maybe the 50 seconds one. Like if I would be given both, I'd probably look at the referral first and then look at the application. But if the outside application is better, I would probably reach out to them, and I would not reach out to the referral if they're not great. But again, that's a company, that the policy can differ in the company wise. Some companies are like, it's compulsory to reach out to the referral. Some companies are like, no, if they're not a great fit, do not reach out to them. But again, that being said, it's basic courtesy to not reach out to someone and just say, please refer me for this, because again, I get it. The market is crazy. I'm not being insensitive, but the person won't and they might not because they don't know you personally. And as soon as they refer you, it's kind of their credibility, right? Right there. So start that conversation rather than just asking for that reference. Start that conversation. I've referred so many people and I refer them every other day.
One more question that I think people have. How much time do recruiters spend on a resume before they reject that?
Okay, so I would say if it is not something related to the job profile, you would probably know in the first 15 seconds. But if it's something related to the job profile, then I spend as good as like 3 to 5 minutes on a resume, making sure that their basic qualifications, their preferred skills that we're looking for, the projects that we're looking for, they've done all. But the first 15 seconds that people talk about is exactly when, like, yeah, I'm a TA partner, I'm applying for a data scientist role, and they're just gonna right away reject it that you are a non-tech TA partner. What are you talking about? Being a data scientist. So probably if that's the mismatch, then definitely within 15 to 30 seconds, your resume is going to get rejected. Your application is going to get rejected. But if you are anywhere close to the job profile, they're going to spend as good as like 2 to 5 minutes on it. And believe me, Priya, spending 2 to 5 minutes on a resume by a recruiter is a good amount of time. Yeah, because we get so many, and you know that you're not even a recruiter, but you get so many requests on LinkedIn as well. So you can only imagine what's happening on the back end, when we are opening that application.
3 to 5 minutes. I was thinking 30 seconds.
I would think 30 seconds if you really want to reject it, but if you want to take it forward for a conversation, that includes two most important things: one, my time, and one, the other person's time as well. So I'm very mindful about that. And again, it's sometimes feel in this market giving somebody a false hope. If you're reaching out and then you're telling them, oh, it doesn't look like a good fit, then I would be like, I should have read the resume a little better before reaching out to them and giving them that false hope, right? So that's why I make sure that I've thoroughly read it. I have follow-up questions on the projects, and I have a better understanding of like how good, and it should be a win-win situation. And I say that so many times to my candidate. It should be a win for the company. It should be a win for the candidate as well.
No. So tell me about a time when you would reject a resume in 30 seconds. Like, what is something that would be so off that you are like, no, like, this is not something that we can move forward with, even though the ATS.
I feel scared saying it, but if it's not properly built, if the resume is not properly built in terms of multiple texts, in terms of like, fonts being everywhere, in terms of information not being correct or not being matching to the LinkedIn, because the first thing that we do when we open a resume is like open the LinkedIn as well. I want to check both of them simultaneously to make sure things match, to make sure, and that's why I say like never ever lie, because you will have an idea and they would catch you. But then again, not matching the job profile at all. Like I said, I'm a TA partner and I'm applying to a data scientist role, that would get rejected in the first blink, right? I have a global partners, or some positions like that. They would get rejected automatically if you're coming as an account executive and you're like, oh, I'm a partner. I'm more from the partnership side, but you're not. You're more from the sales side. So I think that would get rejected. And I get it. Skills are transferable, but what you're putting in your headline, what you're putting in those highlights is something that I'm going to read. I'm not going to think like, oh yeah, these pretty much look similar. I'm not going to sit and analyze that. So probably, yeah, if it's not matching with the job profile, it's going to get rejected.
So 1 page or 2 page, what do you think is a good length?
If you have more than 7 to 10 years of experience, then go for the second page. But then 1 pager. I have a client right now. She has more than 15 years of experience. Her resume is still 1 page, Priya. So you can only imagine. But again, if you have publications, if you have a lot of conferences that you've been a part of, and there's something that is actually aligned with your job profile, then definitely show it. But I would still say 1 page is good enough.
For everyone, again, Shreya is a talent acquisition partner with Uber, and she's also a career coach. All of her details will be linked in the description box or in the caption, so definitely check it out.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you're enjoying our Immigrant Career Corner series. Please leave us a comment in the comment box and let us know how you are liking the series, or if there is a particular topic you'd like us to cover. If things are not going your way, remember, it's okay, yaar, and it will eventually get better. Till next time, this is Priya signing off.